Would you like to grab your hero and go back in time to defend your precious dungeons? Or maybe grab a friend to escape a clockmaker's creepy world? Or grab the chance for a weird interdimensional vacation in Cold War Germany? We're doing this and more in this installment of Super Indie News! Hello everybody, it's Dare here and welcome back to Super Indie News! First of all, before we begin, we of course need a word from our sponsors. Now with that out of the way, let's get going with the news, shall we? And we start off with developer Nomada Studios, who on the 7th of March released a free update for Gris. The update itself is called Gris Undone, and it's a celebration of 300,000 sales, so congratulations to Nomada Studios for that milestone. And it's not actually gameplay, but it's to give users access to some of the unused music and designs as this celebration update. So what this update entails, besides the unused music, is actually a lot of early artwork and concepts from Gris, from development, and it's all accessed in the game. Gris is of course this absolutely stunning puzzle platformer from December 2018, where the game tells a story of a girl dealing with a painful experience in her life. We had a wonderful experience in playing it on our channel, well actually on the live stream, but you can find the VODs here on the YouTube channel. And of course we have links to both the playthrough and Gris's Steam page down in the description. Looking over to the Kickstarter realm, on the 12th of March, the campaign of Radio Commander saw the light of day. Radio Commander is a real-time strategy game which is set in the Vietnam War, and I'm not quite sure if this is an actual term, but I would say it's an asynchronous strategy game because you can't actually see your units that you are commanding. So what you have to do is you sit in this tent with your radio and you have a map in front of you, and based on your communication with the units, you have to keep track of everything on the map, who is engaged in combat, who is too far away, who is nearby that can help, and all that jazz. And I think this is a really interesting concept. It's very similar, I think, to the small indie game called Do You Copy from a couple of years back. It's a horror game that we played also on this channel. In Do You Copy, you had to guide a hiker through a forest using only radio and maps as well, and you were kind of trapped in this guard tower in the forest, and it led to some very intense experiences, even though you actually didn't do much. I'm also getting kind of a Papers, Please vibe. It's the fact that the player is not actually active. Like in Radio Commander, it looks like you are just sitting down, but you have to keep communicating with your squad and your units, and you have to make some really hard decisions. So the Kickstarter campaign for Radio Commander asked for 10,000 Canadian dollars, which was actually backed within 5 days, so congratulations to those guys. The stretch goals that they are now aiming for include some very interesting stuff as well, like voice recognition at 25,000 Canadian dollars and virtual reality as their highest stretch goal of 100,000 Canadian dollars. There is of course a link to Radio Commander's Kickstarter campaign in the description. And that leads us to one of the games from our intro for this new segment, as on the 4th of March, the developers behind the very popular third-person tower defense game Dungeon Defenders just announced their new title in the series. And in conjunction with that, they've actually created a whole new studio, and they're going from Trendy Entertainment to now being called Chromatic Studio, but it's still the core of the developers of Dungeon Defenders team, and they have acquired all of the rights to the Dungeon Defenders franchise. What Chromatic Games really want to do with Dungeon Defenders Awakened is to recreate the same epic experience that was Dungeon Defenders 1, but still with gameplay and graphics updated to a new generation. So far, Chromatic Games haven't really shown too much other than the fact that they're using Unreal Engine 3, and they've shown they want to go back to one of the things I loved about Dungeon Defenders 1, which was the cute, vibrant graphics, of course, with a massive graphics overhaul. The story this time involves time traveling and a new enemy threatening the Etherean realm. In Dungeon Defenders Awakened, we're going to be revisiting both old and new locations, but it's not just going to be a graphical update of the old locations. They're also getting a massive touch-up and getting a whole new look and epic feel to it. Other than that, they also announced that they're going to be making couch co-op, which is something we don't see very often in the current gaming environment. A Twitch integration, where the viewers can mess with the streamer. In the same breath and tweet, Chromatic Games also launched a Kickstarter campaign for the Dungeon Defenders, where they asked for $250,000 US. This goal was backed on the 19th of March. There's still about 2 weeks to go on the Kickstarter campaign, so I urge you to go over there and look at it, see if it's something for you, and maybe considering supporting Chromatic Games, because Dungeon Defenders 1 and 2 were both really fun tower defense games. I would have wished there would be a little bit more of actual tower building in the game, but maybe that's coming with Dungeon Defenders Awakened. A link to Dungeon Defenders Awakened's Kickstarter campaign is to be found down below in the description. And that brings us from the news to the releases. And the first release that we're going to cover in this installment of Super Indie News is Tick Tock: A Tale for Two, which launched on the 7th of March. Tick Tock: A Tale for Two is a very interesting concept where you have to play it two-player cooperation. It reminds me of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes from 2015, where two people had to work together in order to disarm a bomb. However, Tick Tock: A Tale for Two is much more story-driven though. It's set in this really spooky and eerie world that was created by a clockmaker, and with inspiration from Scandinavian fairy tales and what looks like Edgar Allan Poe's work. Players have to solve puzzles together in order to try to escape this creepy world. A very interesting thing about Tick Tock: A Tale for Two is that it's cross-platform, and by that I don't just mean PC and consoles, but actually you can play it with anyone else who has a PC, Switch, or a mobile device, even iOS and Android. So if you have a computer and your friend who you really want to play this with only have an iPhone, well, no problem, just get going and get to escape this world. Tick Tock: A Tale for Two has been nominated for multiple awards and have gotten really great reviews, so I definitely think you should go and play it. It's only €5 at the moment, so go to Steam, the link is in the description, and get cracking. Next up is solo developer Erik Asmussen's Factory Town, which just launched into Steam Early Access on the 12th of March. Factory Town is a city simulation game with a high emphasis on producing goods. You start off with a single building and a few workers, and then you have to expand your village from there. And the big hook is that you can create production lines and pretty much automate everything, which I think creates some truly satisfying experiences when everything just seems to work. Factory Town really reminds me of old RTS titles such as Age of Empires or maybe the Warcraft franchise, just without the war and conquering and death aspects involved. And the game also reminds me of these big automated redstone creations that you would see in Minecraft. And maybe it looks a little bit similar to Factorio, but I've never actually played that, so I don't know too much about it. Factory Town instead is this vibrantly colored low poly graphics world, which I think look pretty sweet. And the developer Erik Asmussen plans on making regular updates and news posts where he talks about what changes he has done now and what he's thinking about doing next, which I think is a really great way of interacting with your audience and communicating your vision of the game. As with all the other news and games, the link to Factory Town's early access Steam page is of course in the description. From the beautiful, vibrant, low poly world of Factory Town, we're going into a very interesting looking and rather weird vacation in Germany, as a new point-and-click adventure has just seen the light of day on the 12th of March. The game is called Trüberbrook, which is of course the name of the town that our protagonist Hans Tannhauser is visiting. Trüberbrook is a sci-fi mystery set in the 1960s Germany, and as Hans Tannhauser, who is an American physicist who won a vacation to Germany, your adventure really takes place here in Trüberbrook when Hans's physics papers get stolen, but maybe Hans didn't actually win the vacation to Germany. The story of Trüberbrook is inspired by popular shows such as Twin Peaks, The X-Files, Stranger Things and Star Trek, and the developers even had a visit from point-and-click legend Ron Gilbert, who made classics such as the first two Monkey Island games, among others, and he said he really liked it.
Hi, this is Ron Gilbert. Please back this project.
The thing that quite literally caught my eye with Trüberbrook is that it stands out visually because everything in the game is actually handcrafted models who were then digitized and put into the game, and it gives this really amazing aesthetics that's reminiscent of stop motion shows such as Wallace and Gromit, and I think it looks so awesome. Trüberbrook was funded with a Kickstarter campaign back in 2017 where they asked for 80,000 euros, but instead actually got a little over 198,000 euros as the campaign ended on the 14th of December 2017. I really want to thank the indie gamer here on YouTube for the tip of Trüberbrook, which I saw in one of his videos, so you guys should totally go watch his stuff as well. He's got some awesome recaps of the coming indie games as well as reviews. And with that, it means that we are at the end of this installment of Super Indie News. I do hope that you guys want to check out all of these amazing indie games that we've gone through in this video. And of course, remember, if there is something that I've missed, some really super awesome game or some news, please let me know down in the comments below. And I guess that was it. So I'll see you in the next one. Over and out.